We've said this before here on the show, and I think you'll agree with me on this, that nostalgia now is really big business. You know, when you think about it, I don't know about when you were growing up, but you never really thought to keep things, did you? You know, in the sense of that, you know, maybe theatre tickets, concert tickets, your first big pop concert, you know, that you went to, whether that be David Cassidy, David Essex, the Bay City Rollers, whatever. You know, my generation was a totally different thing. And now you don't even get a ticket, do you? So really, there's no nostalgia attached to that, you know? I often find that very strange. You go to the theatre now and you scan something if you're lucky, or they give you a piece of paper that you print off. But of course, you're still allowed to buy the very expensive glossy programmes, which of course is called merchandise now, not just theatre programmes, you know what it's like. Everything comes at a price, but nostalgia simply is not what it was. And I'm sure you'll agree when you look at this particular story, because as many people know, I've been lucky enough to meet and interview so many of the wonderful Bond people, from the Bond girls like Joanna Lumley, Jane Seymour, to of course Daniel Craig, Sir Roger Moore. And Bond was really something of a, well, phenomenon, wasn't it, when you think about it? Put together of course by Harry Saltzman and Cubby Broccoli. It really started out as something that no major studio was taking seriously, simply because Sir Sean Connery, or simple Sean Connery as he was then, wasn't really a big name. And when they were making Dr. No, they were literally on their bootstraps with the budget. It's funny to think, isn't it, that, you know, so many years later, the iconic moment where, of course, Sean Connery utters that line, Bond, James Bond, is now simply worth so much money. And it's all thanks to the fact that the script for that and Goldfinger has just come up for auction. When you think about it, how much would you pay? He penned one of the coolest lines in Hollywood films, Bond, James Bond. Now the contract writer, Barclay Mather, signed for developing a script for the very first 007 film, Dr. No, was up for auction. He was paid £1,000 by Eon Productions for his renowned work way back in 1961, and the document was set to go for over £800 at sale. However, his draft screenplay for Goldfinger is also valued at £1,200. Why I highlight this is it just goes to show, doesn't it? As I said, nostalgia is big business. You make a lot of money if you've got the right things. So I throw it back to you. Have you got anything in your sort of attic, cases under the bed, old drawers you haven't looked in? Maybe concert tickets, maybe signed things, a very signed album. That got me thinking as well the other day. There was a big sign-in for a pop star somewhere over here in the UK, and I thought, well, what are they signing? There's no vinyl records, there's no CDs, but apparently limited edition vinyls. How much were the vinyls? £40 an album. Wow, that is a lot of money. So have a root around and tell me, have you got anything as valuable as those particular Bond scripts? And if so, how much do you think they're worth? Neil Shaw, Hyde Park, London.